Hello, Barondibitus here with another video for the Board Game Shelf, and here I'm showing off Seven Wonders. This is a rather nice, I think some kind of anniversary edition or something like that. With the gold, I like the gold colors with the black on each of the sides. This is another sort of Black Friday purchase a number of years ago. Um, you can compare the theme to like the Civilization video games, like Civ 6 or whatever. You are a leader of one of the 7 greatest cities in antiquities. So develop your city by increasing your scientific discoveries, military conquests, commercial agreements, and prestigious structures to lead your civilization to glory. All the while, keep an eye on your neighbors' progress, since they share similar ambitions. Will your wonder transcend the millennia to come? So, but yeah. A bunch of reference sheets. This is definitely a game where you need to sort of like learn the symbols essentially. You know, like those kind of games, you have to learn what all the symbols mean. But there are some helpful reference sheets with all of these. And here are the 7 civilizations. For each of the 7 wonders, the 7 ancient wonders of the world. So we've got Alexandria. There's a sort of day side and night side. The only differences are like these are the stages of the wonder that you're trying to build, right? I love the artwork on the night side for a lot of these. Yeah, Lighthouse Alexandria. We have the Hanging Gardens of Babylon there. That's very pretty. I believe this is the Temple of Zeus in Olympia. Yeah. And we got, I can't remember what this one is, but Halicarnassus. And we have this, I can't remember, this is like Temple of Athena or something like that. But anyway, Ephesus. That's very pretty. The pyramids in Giza, of course. And then we have the statue, the Colossus of Rhodos. Or Rhodes, or whatever. I thought it was Rhodes for the longest time, but I see here it says Rhodos, or whatever. Yeah, the colossal statue. Yeah, those are these, like each player chooses one of those. And we have this awesome like score sheet here that you basically try to have the most number of points by the end of the game. And the game is played in 3 different ages. And they're represented in here with bronze, silver, and gold. So the first age is the simplest, essentially. And then the silver age things get more developed, and the gold age and you have there's a lot of points, but you also need to. A lot of colors in the 3rd era rely on having cards from earlier eras. We also have the money tokens, basically just 3s and 1s in here. These pieces of cardboard chips. And then we have military tokens as well. So there's 1, 3, 5, and also -1s as well. So how does this work? So essentially the aim of the game is to get the most points, and if you notice on here, there's different categories for how you get points. One thing I love about this game is how it's color coded. So first of all, you have this pyramid at the top here. Basically, the pyramid is your wonder. So whichever civilization you choose, the different stages of your wonder are here, kind of signified by the different levels of this pyramid here. Some only have 2, some have 4. But essentially, so anything in these little circles here, those are resources. So this is saying here you need these resources, 2 wood, to basically sort of purchase or build this stage of your wonder, and then you get this benefit, which in this case is 3 victory points. And here you need 3 clay to build the second stage of your wonder. In this case, you get 2 pieces of military strength. They're not victory points, but I'll talk about military in a little bit. Then finally, the 3rd stage of this wonder, you get 7 victory points if you have 4. I think that's like gold or ore or something like that. So you get points for building your wonder. You also get points for the amount of gold that you have. That's what this yellow circle is. And so red stands for military. So there's going to be basically everyone's sitting around a table, right? And any red cards represent military. Here's an example of one, right? They'll have a certain number of military symbols. That's what that is right there. You compare the number of military symbols you have to the ones that your neighbor has. Whoever has more wins the conflict, and whoever has less loses. And so anytime somebody loses a military conflict, they get a -1 token, and the number of points you win depends on the age. So if you're in the Bronze Age, then you only get one military token. If you only get one point per victory, they're pretty small. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. One point. In Age 2, you get 3 points for winning each conflict. If I can, here we go, 3. And then in Age 3, you get 5 points for each one you win. But every time you lose, you only get -1 point, right? So there's that. And you're only competing with your neighbors, okay? So if you have like a 7-player game, which I have done before, it gets a bit chaotic, especially all the like 6 of the players were new when I was the 7th. I had to teach it to all of them, but they all enjoyed themselves. But yeah, that's military, essentially. Let's see what's next. We have blue. So this is like sort of like culture related things, right? They culture cards, the blue ones tend to just straight up give you victory points if you build them, right? So we have 3 points here. This one's also 3 points, and so forth. They're very simple and straightforward. Then we have these gold gold colored ones. This is more about like commerce and trade and things like that, and markets. They'll often give you coins, but sometimes there are some gold-colored cards that will give you victory points as well under certain conditions. Next, we have the green ones, which is science. So each of these science cards will have one of 3 different symbols. We have this tablet, we have this gear, and then we have this compass-looking thing. And essentially, you get points for either getting matching symbols or getting a set of 3 different symbols. And the amount of points are described in the rule book, essentially. But that's science, scientific advancements. And then purple is I don't think there are any purple cards in the earlier stages. I think those tend to be in the much later ones. I can't remember what purple stands for exactly. Oh yeah, here we go. But yeah, they're just kind of various like kind of like smaller wonders, I guess. They can represent a bunch of different things. If I can find another purple one in here. Yeah, so lots of different things. But yeah, essentially, this is pretty much like a draft game where like most of the cards are dealt to everybody, and then you choose a card and then you pass it along, and you keep going like that. It's just like Sushi Go Party or Sushi Go or whatever, or like a Magic the Gathering draft where you take a card, you pass it down. And the cards also indicate in which direction you're going. So in the Bronze Age, you're passing the cards clockwise, but in the Silver Age, you're passing them counterclockwise, and then in the Gold Age, you're passing them clockwise again. And that's basically how the whole game works, essentially. Obviously, there's some intricacies here and there about how various symbols interact with each other. But that's essentially how the game works. If you want to build a card, you generally have to have like the resources and stuff. Each civilization starts with one resource that they just always have available to them. But yeah, you also have these other cards, like you have these silver cards, which are more luxury resources. Then you have these brown cards, which are more raw resources. Okay, so especially in the Bronze Age, you just kind of like, you can like just take a card in your hand, and if there's no cost in this part of the card, you can just have it like just in front of you, essentially. However, some will have an actual cost for resources. In this case, 1 stone. You can use your coin to like borrow resources from your neighbors and all that. Also, some of these cards will have these symbols here because there are some that will have a cost of either a resource or a symbol. So, for example, if I built this bath here that has this water symbol, then I believe there should be something. Yep, here we go, aqueduct. So I can, in order to get this card in Age 2, I would either have to have 3 stone or a card with this symbol showing, right? So white symbols like that can really help you basically get things for free. Because having a bathhouse helps with building aqueducts and stuff like that. There's this sort of natural progression. But yeah, and then especially here, there are definitely cards that like give you victory points if you've accomplished certain conditions or something, or if you have certain colors of cards in front of you, you get 1 point for each of those, and so on and so forth. There are some cards that reduce the price of things for you, make it easier for you to purchase and all that. This is a great game. Once you get the hang of it, this is a very enjoyable game that usually goes by fairly quickly, honestly. I just love how you can kind of like build a civilization in a matter of like half an hour essentially, and you're just sort of like competing with other people. Is it half an hour? This is like about 30 minutes, as it says here. 3 to 7 players, ages 10 and up, about 30 minutes. So this game might seem a bit daunting because of its theme, but I love how it has an impressive, like kind of a grand theme. You know, the building of civilizations and 7 wonders. But it's once you know how to play, it's fairly straightforward, and I love that a lot. So yeah, I love how this. Like I said, I love how this box looks. I love playing this. That's kind of why this box is if you've seen some wear and everything on the edges and stuff. But yeah, I love it. I'm glad to have it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, all the best.